What's going on, guys? Conforti Brothers here for another video. E55 video. Yes, we're gonna be working on this today. This is gonna be our part 2 video. You guys have probably already saw the part 1 that we uploaded about, I think, last week. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it.
I think it was that long ago, was it?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a little bit long ago.
Couple days ago, yeah.
What happened was we're working on a module on the E55. The headlights right here, down here, over there. Other side, don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So we're working on those. Oh boy, we're out of focus. So we had to get a new part. It just came in the mail today, and we're gonna be working on that. So by the way, if you guys probably gonna complain about this in the comments, but we're working on our garage again. It's like cold. It's -4 degrees today, so we have the heater on at 70 degrees in the garage. So you're probably gonna hear a lot of the heater, but
we'll try to speak up a little bit here. You cut me off, Nick. Give me the shot. There it is. There it is.
If you guys want an up close look of this, 404,000 miles. Looks pretty clean.
Yeah.
There's the guy that did it. I don't know if you can see his name, Vulcan, whatever. Yeah.
Doesn't matter what his name is, but
all right, so
did a good job.
I'm gonna be working on this light right here.
Yeah. So like I said in the other video, the module's underneath this light, but we noticed the drip tray in the car keeps having like a moisture, like water on it or something. And while the bumper is off, we noticed that the washer fluid is leaking from this.
Yeah, so like the other day, we filled up the washer fluid right here, all the way to the top, like almost overflowing.
Yeah, leaked out some more.
And as you can see, there's like barely, actually you can't even tell if there's any in there. So when we came out the garage the next morning, we noticed that where Matt's foot is, there's a huge puddle, and we're guessing there's a leak somewhere on this side. It explains why there's never washer fluid.
We can see it, there is. I know for a fact.
Yeah, so we gotta fix that.
If I had a flashlight, I would show them, but I don't have a flashlight. Shows you how professional we are. Okay, so we're ready to go ahead and put this module back in. And just like I said before, it goes right up under here, so Nick, go and bring the camera in here and show them where it goes.
Where at?
If you take the headlight off, this is much easier, but like I said, I'm lazy. Actually, I just don't really know what I'm doing. I don't want to take it all apart. So it goes right here.
You can see back
and I'm gonna put that in there, put the screws in now.
Hopefully this one works.
Yeah. Perfect. So all I gotta do now is put these screws in, we'll be done with this. All right, so now that we have that module back in, next thing we're gonna be doing is re-screwing this back in, the headlight assembly. Now you're gonna wanna make sure these screws all line up, and there's gonna be these little metal clips. So go ahead and zoom in on this and show them. There's these little tiny metal clips right here. You're gonna make sure you don't lose those. Make sure those are there. And we're gonna put the 3 screws back in, 2 up there and then 1 down here. All right, so now we're gonna put the bumper back on, and the first thing we have to do is reconnect the temperature sensor right here on the grill, the fog light, and the side marker light right here. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right, so basically we have the bumper just sitting on right now. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these 2 bolts, that one here and that one there, we're gonna put them on just loosely, just enough so that way while we're putting the rest of them on, we can get the bumper to line up 100% perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other one right now. All right, so we take the bumper off because there's these little, we didn't realize the bumper has to slide into these like slots on the sides.
Yeah, like over here.
Yeah, we took them off, realigned it, and now we tighten these 2 bolts up, and we're gonna put the rest of the bolts on now. So now that we have these 2 and those 2 bolts already on, and they're tight, we're gonna go ahead and put the 2 behind the grill right here. Now, like I mentioned in the other video, the easiest way to do this is to remove the grill, but I just repainted all of these and I put them in nice and tight, and I don't want to mess with them, so I'm just gonna go reach from this side over here and install those now. All right, so the next thing we're gonna be doing here is putting on these brackets. Now these are gonna hold the fender to the bumper. And one thing you wanna keep in mind is there's gonna be a little pin right here. And you'll notice when you look in here, well, it's kinda hard now, but there's like a little groove where you're gonna feed this in, and this is gonna slide in the groove, and then you're gonna like lock it in there and pull it back. Like it's kinda like locks into place, that way it holds you nice and tight. All right, so the next thing we're gonna be doing is putting these little pins back on, and they go right up in here inside the fender. You're gonna see where they go, where the screws lined up. Actually, I didn't even think I needed to take this off, but I did anyways. So I'm gonna put those back on now. So now that we have the bumper all put back on, looks good, what we're gonna be doing now is the last step. So we have to put this drip tray back in. Now, if you remember from our last video that this was pretty nasty, it was covered in oil and grease and stuff from the oil leak. But I went ahead and degreased all of it so it's all nice and clean again. And I just wanna let you guys know real fast, I mentioned in another video, you could change the fog lights without actually taking the bumper off. And to do that is, you can do that by twisting these little notches right here. And this flap is gonna fold down and allow you to have access to the inside. So if you have to change a bulb or something, it'll allow you to do that without taking the whole bumper off. All right, so guys, as you can tell here, we are completely done with this project. Now, unfortunately, I mean, we knew going into it that that piece probably wasn't gonna fix the issue, and it didn't. So we basically took the whole thing apart for nothing. But nonetheless, it's all back together. The new fog light is in, it looks beautiful. We have all the grills repainted. I've repainted them all black. Give it a nice fresh look, and they're kind of bent too, so I straightened them out. And if you remember from our other video, we replaced the parking lights here in the center to LED lights, and the lights weren't working, so we swapped them back out, through halogens in. So I'm gonna go ahead and order the right ones for this car, because apparently the LEDs don't work. Certain LEDs work and certain ones don't, so whatever that is. And then one of the parking lights on the other side was shot, so we went ahead and changed that too. And yeah, so it's all back together now.
All right, guys, that's the end of the video. If you guys like what you saw, this is just the part 2 of the video. If you like what you saw, give a like, a comment, you know.
Let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah, some of you guys are probably gonna
know. We're not professionals, but hey, you know what, we're learning.
Yeah, we never really worked on cars. We know a lot about cars. We never really worked on them until we bought this car. So it's a learning process, but other than that, you know.
If you want to see an exciting one coming up, we're gonna be replacing the shock absorbers in the back from this car.
Yeah, so you're probably gonna mess that up.
So it's probably gonna be a disaster, but nonetheless, we'll be on videos. You guys.
Yeah, so make sure you subscribe so you can see us mess up the shocks in the back and do a nice. Probably have to give a rejob somewhere else.
Let's take it to a professional. Yeah, because we don't know what we're doing over here.
Yeah, so
not professionals, but
yeah. So until then, see you next time.